star on shore TV. You're the star in the golden city. You're the star shining bright. You're the star tonight. You're the star. You're the star tonight.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie D'Souza at the Cool Cat Recording Studio.
And I'm Jessica Marina, and welcome to You're the Star.
And today in the studio, we are really deeply honored to have Yael Wand with us. Yael lives in Wells, and she's come all the way here to be on our show. And it's kind of a first for You're the Star because Yael and a few other people are going to be performing at the Gopan City Dance Studio on March the 11th. So write that on your calendar, folks, because it's going to be an awesome concert. And this is going to be running the week before that and to promote that show. So please, get down to the Gopan City Dance and support Yael and her friends. Yael, thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure. It's good to be here.
Beautiful
Thank you very
voice.
Nice to meet you. Thanks.
Really nice singing and you've heartfelt songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. So please tell us like a bit about your training and like you've had formal training.
Yeah, I did. I don't have formal training playing an instrument. But I did. I started when I was very little. I thought I would take up the recorder, and I got really frustrated very fast. And then I thought I would take up the viola, and I got frustrated really fast. And I sort of gave up on learning instruments, but I joined choirs, and so I was in choirs all through my school days. All sorts of choirs in school and classical choirs out of school, and I did a lot of singing that way. So I got a lot of musical training that way. And when I finished high school, there was kind of going to be no outlet for me to perform or sing or play music. So I taught myself to play the guitar, and I started writing songs. So all that singing training and learning to play instruments did kind of eventually come into play.
Right. Yeah. And so you're self-taught on the guitar, then? And
Yeah.
you did a really good job.
Thanks. Been working at it bit by bit.
That's awesome. I know what you mean about recorders, though. That totally frustrated me when I was trying to learn how to do that back in the day. What type of musical influences have you been exposed to?
Well, definitely the singing I did was really broad, like everything from kind of from pop standards and jazz standards, and lots of classical as well. That was stuff that I was performing in choirs. I used to listen to, top 40 radios, and I loved my brother's tapes and records. Like he had Beatles music and well, that was my favorite for sure, all his Beatles records. But also in my family used to listen to a lot of Israeli folk music. Mm-hmm. Just there's a huge tradition of music that's in Hebrew, and I used to have I remember these 4 books of volumes and volumes of traditional songs, and if I didn't know the tunes, I would just make them up, and so I used to sing a lot of that stuff and listen to that. So all these things, I think, they come out because I think my music is quite varied, and I've taken from all those little elements, from all those elements and big influences, and mixed them all up.
Well, hearing your music, you can definitely tell you have your own style for sure. When we're sitting here listening to you, it's very nice. By the way,
Thank you.
Yeah, the gypsy kind of like minor blues kind of movements. I really like those. Very cool.
Thank you.
So now you've got 4 CDs that you've produced so far. Right?
Yeah, I have. One of them, the first one I did with a band when I was living in Vancouver, and so it was produced by 3 of us, and that was a full-length album, and since then I've done 3 solo albums as well.
Awesome. And so where can we buy those CDs?
You can buy them from my website, yaelwand.com.
Yeah.
And they're available, some of the newer ones are available also at Green Tree Health in Quesnel.
In Quesnel.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. iTunes,
yeah.
So you've really done a lot of homework then to get that all organized.
Yeah, bit by bit, for sure. I mean, I've been touring and performing for full-time, essentially, since 2004. So, and the last 3 solo records, the 3 solo records all came out 2004, 2007, and then the latest one 2009. So, learning as I go how to get my music out there.
Awesome. So what have you learnt while recording, these projects?
Well, recording's really fun and really interesting and very different than performing live. That's a big thing I've learned. They're two different facets of playing music. When you perform live, you've got to be well rehearsed and prepared for both things, but in different ways, in a sense. The perfectionist in me definitely comes out more so when I'm recording, because I get to hear everything back again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to live with it, and so I can maybe obsess over one little part of a song for far too long. Whereas performing, it's far more being in the moment, mm-hmm. and engaging with the audience, and whatever happens, just turning it into something fun and entertaining for everybody, for myself and for the audience. So I might not be able to live with something that happens in a live performance if it was recorded.
No, I definitely know what you mean. We mess up on here all the time. We just kind of... But, you just got to go with it, right? Like, if you mess up live, nobody's really going to notice the difference anyway, because they haven't maybe heard it before, but you definitely know, and you're sitting there inside, you're like,
yeah. But you remember the experience of it, the experience of the performance, right? When you're at a show, you remember how it felt. You don't remember the specific details or the notes. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Okay, so I've got another question for you. And now you've got a brand new baby, and you've got a family life. And how's that, how are you mixing that in with your musical career?
It's pretty challenging. It's, I try to fit a little bit of music in every day, but it's really tough. And as she's getting older, it's getting both easier and harder. Easier because she can entertain herself a little bit more, and I can maybe play guitar while she's doing 11-month baby things. Yeah. But definitely it changes the priorities of things for me, and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to get back on the road. I'm doing a lot more things based locally.
It's a lot better for us local people because we get to see a lot more of you.
I hope so.
Good on.
So do you have any advice for up and coming stars?
Just do what you love, and have a plan of where you want to go, and just work your way there. Do as much research as you can, play as much as you can, and I think just believe that if you know that you have the skills and the talent, just work on those and see where you go. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to go to Yael's videos now.
Come spring, all will be fine. Come spring, the flowers will bud and grow on their vines, and all the world will know just how big and bright it can grow. Come spring, you glorious thing. Come spring. And cold world will melt away into the streams. Tiny shoots will shake away their snowy dreams, and all the barstools, the poets and the drifters will scheme. Come this time next season, their pockets will burst at the seams, and just how beautiful it can be. Come spring, you glorious thing. Come spring. The Stellas and the Whiskey Jacks, they'll coo and swoon. They'll sing their songs in the trees, show off their summer bloom. Pussy willows will bloom. Come spring, the lovers will stand as bride and groom, and all the world will know how they love each other so. Come spring, you glorious thing. Come spring. Oh, but the summer's too hot to bear. So cold, I don't give a care, and fall when the world turns you glorious thing. Come spring, come spring, come spring.
Thank you. I'll play another tune. That was a tune obviously titled Come Spring.